Hi, this is Mr. Warden. This is a video key for PreAlgebra Do Now 28.3, and let's get started. So we're looking to figure out what b prime, n prime, x prime would be if we rotated b and x 90 degrees clockwise. So we're going this way. All right, so b is going to end up in quadrant 1, x will end up in quadrant 2, so will n. All right, so let's take a look at that. So we're rotating 90 degrees clockwise. Since it's a little off screen, I'm going to make a note, 90 degrees clockwise. All right, so what's going to happen is, let's start off with what b, n, x are as points. So b is currently -4, 1. And n is currently -5, -4. And x is currently -3, -2. Okay, so the thing that happens with a 90-degree rotation is the x and y values switch position. Then one of them is going to change signs. Okay, so let's figure out which one is going to change signs. So a quick test would be to move b. So we're going clockwise. So b is going to go from -4, 1 to a position of 1, 4. Okay, so like that. Bring it down, scroll down a little bit so you can see better what the heck I'm doing. So I'm going to take b prime. B prime is going to switch to 1, 4. Okay, and now you see right here I've got two negatives. I'm going to switch the positions. So n is going to go from here, down here at -5, -4. It's going to rotate up here to -4, 5. That's going to become a 5, and that's going to become a -4. So we switched the points, and then the y value. So when I switched -4, 1, I would get 1, -4, but then the y changed signs. Here I switched the -4 and the -5, but when the -5 became a y, it switched signs. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to switch these two. So this is going to become -2, and this would be -3, but I'm going to switch the sign to +3. So I'll go ahead and plot these points. And I'll plot 1, 4. Okay, so b prime becomes 1, 4. N prime will end up being up here at -4, 5. So that'll be n prime. There's b prime. And then x prime is going to be up here at -2, +3. That'll be x prime. Okay, so you switch the values, and then the sign of the y, the new y, changes. And there is my rotation image. Okay, now let's take a look at the next one. All right, now we're going to rotate 180 degrees around the origin. Okay, so when we rotate 180 degrees around the origin, all that happens is the signs of both x and y change. So I'll show you what that means. So b, which is currently at -4, 1, is going to end up here at +4, -1. X, which is currently at -3, -2, is going to end up at 3, +2, and n prime will go from -5, -4 to +5, +4. So the easiest thing to do is copy my points, my original b and x. I'll put them in here. So 180-degree rotation. And if I don't say it's around the origin, say it's around anything in particular, assume I mean the origin. So that's my original points. And now I'm going to have my B prime. My B prime is going to be +4, -1. Okay, my N prime, that is our cat Demeter, complaining about something we're not sure what. That's my N prime becomes 5, 4. My X prime becomes 3, 2. All I did was I changed the signs of X and Y. All right, now we're going to dilate B. We're going to dilate B and X. We're going to dilate it by a factor of 2 from a center of dilation of -5, -3. It's probably the trickiest one that we've got here. So basically, we're going to be doubling the distance of each of the points from a center of dilation at -5, -3. So I think the first thing to do is to identify our center of dilation. I'll use green for our center of dilation. So -5, -3 is going to be right here. Okay. So I'll go ahead and plot. It might be easier to see this visually. So N is going to go from 1 down to 2 down because we're doubling. That'll be N prime. Okay. Now X is 2 over and 1 up. So it's going to become 4 over from there and 2 up. So that'll be X prime. And then B is currently 4 up and 1 over. So it's going to be 2 over now. I'm going to scroll up a little bit for this. It's going to be Now it's going to be 2 over and 8 up. So B prime is going to be right up here. I had to be a little careful when I was setting this up so I could end up having everything on the same graph. And there it is. So there's my image in relation to that center of dilation. That last line was done terribly. Let me see if I can do a better job of that last line. Perhaps in class, when I have a better tool for doing this, I will be able to do a better job of this. So there was my center of dilation. I'm going from here to here, which is going to mean I'm going to go through this point. Let's see. Actually, no, I'm going from here. So I'm going to go through this point. So because it's a slope of 5, up 5 over 1 between these 2 points. There we go. Okay, so if I were to draw a line from my center of dilation, it would go through B and B prime. It would go through N and M prime, and I could draw a line that goes from through X and X prime. So that is one of the natures of dilation, is you can draw a straight line. I believe y'all call it a vanishing point perspective when we were discussing it in class. So let's go ahead and identify what those points were. So this will be B prime. B prime went over 2 and up 4. Okay, so over, over 2. So over 2 from N. So it went up 1 from where it is. So that's going to be here over 1. So it's going to be a -3. And the 1 becomes a 5 because I have to add 4. Okay, that's relative to N. And then the N just went down by 1 to -5 because it didn't have to change at all in its horizontal position because it matched the horizontal position of the center of dilation. X had to go up 1 and over 2. So over 2 brings it to -1, and up 1 brings it to -1. Okay, and those are the points. I hope that was helpful.